Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to a FIFA 13 video. It's been a really long time actually since I've uploaded FIFA, but as most of you guys know, especially if you're on my friends list on PS3, that's basically the only game I'm playing at the moment. I'm just really into FIFA. Obviously I love football and obviously I still love the game, and today I wanted to make a video about FIFA 14. There's supposedly going to be a reveal later on this week, so I thought I'd sort of just help the hype and talk about a few things that I think need to be in FIFA 14 for it to be a really good game. I found that, FIFA 13 was really good, but I felt as if they could have gone that extra sort of step and made it really good if they just added a little bit more features. Now for this video, this is going to be part 1. I'm mainly going to be talking about gameplay, but depending on how the time goes, we'll maybe branch out into other stuff. But anyway, let's get started. So obviously these are just all my opinions. I've got about 50 different features, so I'm probably going to be quite a long video, but I want you guys to leave your discussions in the comments box, and obviously I'd just like to hear what you guys really want in FIFA 14, because there's a lot of things that they could potentially do. A lot of these features that I'm going to list might actually be familiar from older FIFAs. So yeah, I just think that a lot of the things that they've removed from older FIFAs have just been unnecessary. So let's just go ahead and start with gameplay. So the first thing I'm going to mention, and this was probably inevitable that I put this down, because every single one I know who plays FIFA has had a problem with goalkeepers. Now, I know that this isn't something that they can just change or add into the game, because obviously it's already in the game, but they really need to address it. I find that the goalkeepers are either ridiculously overpowered or ridiculously stupid and underpowered and horribly undecisive, and it's just a mess sometimes. Like, for instance, if a ball is rolling and it's like the ball sort of stops just outside their box, sometimes they'll pick it up and give away a handball, or they'll like just kick the ball away, do something completely stupid. Sometimes they're just terrible at shot stopping, and it's just something that they've really needed to fix for a while now, so hopefully they'll address that. So the next thing I want them to at least refine is the celebrations. Now, I find celebrations in FIFA 13 a bit ridiculous. I don't know, I barely even use celebrations, because most of them just look really stupid, especially the dead fish. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous, and there's a few other ones like the bird sort of celebration. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. I think they should really make celebrations. They should really add a lot to celebrations, because I think when you score, it shouldn't be this, like, if you're scoring against the mate, it shouldn't be this annoying thing for your mate to see. It should actually be cool, your whole team should get in there, and it should be this cool sort of, but, sort of quick, but really cool sort of celebration. They should do sort of real life ones, and they should actually sort of put some effort into it, because, I mean, ones like the dead fish are just ridiculous. I've never seen a player do it before, and it just looks ridiculous. So the next thing is actually an idea I've sort of discovered, and that is ball boys. This, I don't know, it could be something completely different. They could change it, make it something else, but I don't know, I just thought ball boys would be something cool. This would basically mean that there's no loading screens in the game at all, pretty much. So when the ball goes out for throw-in or whatever, a ball boy quickly runs or sprints to get it, and unlike the one against Hazard, I'm sure all of you guys know what I'm talking about, gives it straight back to you, and then you can obviously throw it in really quickly. This would basically just make the game like a hell of a lot quicker, and just in general the game would just feel a lot more fluid and everything. So the next thing is I just wanted to touch on with the kickoff sort of game mode. I find that kickoff is awesome, and I always play with mates and my brothers and whatnot, but I find that they could really do a lot more with it. I remember in FIFA 08 or 09 or one of those two, or both even, there was a mode called Lounge Mode, and it could sort of mean you could have like a competition, like an actual sort of competitive competition with your friends. You could actually, the results would actually be considered, and you play games, and the winner of that sort of actually probably wins something. And I just think that it adds a little bit more to the normal, just standard kickoff with your friend. And I just think they could really do a lot more with kickoff. They could add a lot of different game modes, a lot of really fun ones for your friends. So the next thing, and I'm sure that they will, I really hope that they'll bring this in, because I feel as if they really should have done this a while ago, and this is changeable weather. I mean, how often in a football game do you see it being the exact same weather for the whole game? I mean, that's just, the world doesn't work like that. So I don't see why FIFA can't just quickly, add something like that where, at some point the other game it might just suddenly start raining, or, I mean, not randomly, but, at least somewhere, something that's a little bit unpredictable, because, I mean, football is never just randomly played in, a complete, this complete same sort of weather. So I think that'd be something really cool to see. Obviously the option should be, you don't have to play like that, but I just think it'd be cool to have in. So the next little idea, and this was actually from a subscriber, was to have a coin toss just at the start of the game. I don't know, I think that might be cool just to, just maybe if you're playing against a friend or something, just to see who goes first or something like that. I often find that when I go first, you know, I've got a little bit of an upper advantage at the start of the game. I don't know, just something cool, thought that would be a nice thing to be in the game. Next thing is handballs. For some stupid reason, FIFA has never, or at least while I've been playing it, has never had handballs in it, which for me is ridiculous. I mean, you know, how often in the Premier League or whatever do we see like controversial handball decisions? I mean, we see it pretty often, so I don't see why that's not in FIFA, you know, handballs, because it actually does affect the game. Often, you know, the hand will come into it and, you know, it's an obvious handball, yet the refs just don't call it for whatever reason. So I think handball should be in the game. Alright, now the next thing is I think shooting could be refined a little bit. I find sometimes it's either ridiculously good and easy if you're with like a 90 rated player or something, and other times, you know, you're with like a 60 rated player and suddenly his shot is just ridiculously bad. I just think, you know, they could add a little bit more skill to shooting. Maybe, I don't know, they could do something. Obviously, they're the ones with the ideas, not me. You know, they're the EA Sports. So, I don't know, I just feel as if they could do something. And if you guys have an idea of what they could do to shooting, I can't think of it on the top of my head right now. But I feel as if shooting needs to be sort of refined a bit. And I find that finesses and chipping, sometimes they're either overpowered in FIFA games or really underpowered. So, I think they just need to address that. So the next thing, and this is also from subscribers, because I know that a lot of people think about this in FIFA, and that is to make pace less important. I do find that pace in FIFA is quite, I don't know, it can be very, a lot of balancement issues can come out of it. Sometimes Mertesacker is as fast as Walcott, and sometimes you'll get like Aaron Lennon or something just ripping through the whole team with his pace. And I don't know, sometimes it's really overpowered just to have really fast plays, and I don't think, even though pace is important in the real game, I just don't think it should be a really crucial part of the game. I think obviously it should be a big aspect, but not a massive part. So the next thing is something quite different. It's actually the soundtrack. I'm not going to go through all the songs that I think should be in it, but hopefully they will be, there'll be another awesome soundtrack. I don't know, I thought I'd mention it because FIFA, I've actually discovered a lot of great music through FIFA, so I thought I'd just mention that. Next thing is faster menus. Don't know why this hasn't been in the game or why they haven't addressed this issue. The menus, especially like saving and loading and stuff like that, are really slow, and that's, I think, a big issue which they also definitely need to address. Okay, the next thing is more runs off the ball. I do find that they did address this well in FIFA, but FIFA 13, but I do still find that sometimes my attacker, my like number 9 player, will just be sitting there, just standing there. He won't make a run, he won't even move to the sides, you know. I just find that there could be a little bit more depth in the attack. Okay, the next thing is different coloured nets. I know this is something a little bit sort of OCD-ish, but when I score a goal, and trust me guys, I score a lot of goals, I find that the way the nets sometimes move, I don't know, this might be a bit of a picky thing, but sometimes, you know, it'd be cool to have it move a bit more how it does in the real game. Sometimes the net just seems a bit sort of tight and static. I don't know, just something I've picked up lately. Bit of an OCD thing, but whatever. Alright, the next thing is the kit's getting dirty. This is another bit of a sort of thing that doesn't really need to be in the game, a little bit gimmicky, but it would be cool if you do like a slide tackle and there is a bit of dirt. I don't know, just might add a bit of realism, and I don't know, obviously that's something that doesn't really need to be addressed, but just something which would be cool to have in the game. Also, I think this is a big issue, and this is pulling up lame. You guys might have heard it from the commentary. Sometimes when your player's like one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and then he suddenly pulls up lame, as they like to call it, which is basically like he stops running and you can't control him anymore because he's, you know, pulled up lame. Sure, this does happen in the real world of football, but most of the time, you know, they'll quickly be able to get a shot away or something, but they don't just completely stop in a one-on-one situation in like a Champions League final game. So I don't know, I think they could just address that a little bit. Maybe once you get an injury, once you've gotten injured, suddenly your stats all like drop down by 30 points or something drastic, but just so that you don't completely lose control of your player. So the last thing I'm going to talk about for today is aerial through balls. Now, you'll find this a lot as you sort of play with players that are a higher skill level, because often I find that players, the better the player is, the more aerial through balls he uses. I don't know, that's just what I've noticed. But often when you change players while they're doing an aerial through ball, you'll change your defender and he'll just stand still. And then you need to control him to run back. And a lot of you guys might be a little bit lost to what I'm talking about. A lot of you guys might completely relate to what I'm saying, but Basically, aerial through balls are really overpowered because your defense gets completely... They just stand still until you actually control them yourself. So, I don't know, I just think that's something that definitely needs to be addressed, but thank you a lot, guys, for watching part 1. Part 2, I'll go into more sort of different game modes, sort of things that I want to be added, but leave a comment on what you guys want in FIFA 14. Lots more things to talk about in part 2, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.
Really nip and tuck here, right to the very last. And the referee blows, the game is over, and the final score is 3-2.